Hey everyone, Steve here from Loop In House. So I'm just sharing this polish snippet from our body mechanics course with you all because there's a few tools I use in here that I think can benefit a lot of people and that might help your animation. And this area that I'm covering is the path of action. And you might see online if you follow me or Loop In House that I talk a lot about the path of action, and that's because it's one of the things that cleans up your animation immensely and makes it look more fluid. And it's one of the things that students just don't do, and it's one of the notes that our mentors at Loop In House are constantly giving to every single student that comes along. So I think this little snippet, it will be very beneficial, and it will kind of show you exactly what we mean by following the path of action to very good detail. And it's a 20-minute snippet from our course, which is about 50 hours long. And the reason it's 50 hours long is before we get in the videos, because when I make courses, I don't like to cut them down. I just suggest watching them in 2 times speed, and then if you hear me talking, you can normally understand it, but if you can't, you just go back to normal, because animation, whether you're a Disney supervisor or a junior animator, is hard. No matter what you're doing, you're going to get stuck, you're going to have to redo things, you're going to have to go forward and backwards all the time, and for me to cut that out of anything is a disservice to anyone watching the course, because I don't want to look like I know exactly what I'm doing, because I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Just like everyone, you're just trying, it's failing, you're retrying. So yeah, if you're interested more in the course, you can check it out. Otherwise, enjoy this little snippet, and I hope it helps you out. Okay, so we're just going to quickly polish the arm here. So if you watch this in real time, it looks fine, right? She's coming up from that turn and landing. But if you watch it in slow motion or frame by frame, you can see here this arm, when she lets go, goes this way and then starts swinging around here, and the whole time it's locked. And I don't think it's necessarily following the correct path that we could do for her. So we're just going to tidy that up, and to illustrate that, we're going to use my Wacom and Epic pen, and I'll just show you quickly the kind of path that we should be taking. Now this sort of detail or polish is small, right? Like in the scheme of the whole shot, you're not going to notice this at all, but it's polished nonetheless, and you'll feel it, right? Like when you're watching everything, these few frames will fly by in a second, but doesn't mean they're not worth fixing. So I'll just show you what I mean with Epic pen. So here, this is the path that we're kind of taking up here. So I'm just going to draw a line here. I'll go to the next frame. You see we've left that line, so technically the arm, so use a different color here, should kind of be like this. Go to the next frame. And then we might introduce a bit of a bend here. I'll use a different color to illustrate that. Just get it a bit closer. Oh, I'm gonna lose my my drawings. I have to do it again, but it's gonna be worth it because I'm drawing on this screen. It's weird. It'll be easier to show you here, so we've got more size to draw on. So we'll just go back to the first one. So this is the path of action. So this is what a lot of students we find at Loop In House don't do, and it can really clean your animation. This is a small case, but this comes down to every part of the body. Like this. You can get some like that. Now we're going into the S curve, so this is where we're going to break the arm, and here we'll probably have now this would be more this. So you see here the spacing that we have here, it's following the same path of action. And then we can pop yeah, just start to bring it out. And this can be this sort of thing. And then you can go into what we have, and you can see that unfortunately these are not frameable keys, the drawings, but that's how we can fix it. So what we'll do now is we'll just jump into Maya, and we can fix that. So I don't need the drawings because I know what to do. If I need them, I can click them on and off. But now all we have to do is just animate the arm following that path of action. So you see here, the other way to do that is to turn on this bad boy here. You can see this line, just kind of put yourself here, and then bam, so that's kind of where we've got to come from. And here, we're going to start getting a bit of an S-curve. It can start with the shoulder. And the arm back down. Needs a bit of rotation now, so we're going to be bending out that way. Bring the arm in. Seeing which way, like it's more kind of, so it bends this way. Right, so I have to rotate the arm more like this. Don't forget the hand is the other piece of the puzzle. I might just copy all the keys from here. See that kind of does it really nicely, but we can drag the hand, we can lose the thumb. Reduce these guys a bit. Let's see. Do the same thing here. Now we can start to bend it out into the pose that we have. Excuse me. So I'll just use the tween machine. So tween goes 100% to the left is the pose before, 100% to the right is the pose after. So we can just find which pose we want. Maybe that one. No, it's too much the same. We want to pop it out a bit. Might have to tweak it. And if we have to, we can experiment with using these guys just to clean up. Oops, not that. This one. Just checking here, not sure if we're gonna, yeah, so you can clean up once you kind of get everything a bit nicer there. you don't have to be super perfect. I'm just looking at the hands now. Don't know why I made this finger different from the rest. It's cool though. Just copy this pose here, keep it the same, shove it down a bit, relax the thumb in there. And now we can do one last check on the hand motion trail because it looked a bit janky. That one. So with this, I'm not sure if this will be sufficient. No, I think you can just move the hand on this rig actually, even if it's FK. Yeah, you can, which is something that's awesome. So I'm just going to clean up the path here. So here you can see there's a few things that you might see that I'm doing here that is unconventional. I'm translating bendies instead of just rotating the arm, moving things around, translating the arm, and normally you might not think to do that. When you've got controls, you might not think to rotate, twist, scale them, and all that sort of thing. But that's one of the biggest things that changed my animation, was when I learned that all controls are there to be, I don't know if you can scale this actually. Yeah, you can. Are there to be manipulated. So if you want to force perspective on something, rather, there's two ways you could do it. I'm just going to save this. I think I'll save, yeah. So if I was to, for example, force perspective on this here, you just rotate it towards us, and then translate, and just bring it all the way forward. It's back towards the camera. I'm not sure where we are right now, to be honest, what the kids are doing. But if that was coming towards us, there we are. It's going to take some tweaking, but that'll force the perspective. And then probably the easier way to do that would be just to scale everything a little bit more. Can't scale that, can't scale that. Well, there you go. Maybe you can scale the bendies though. So there's always a way, I'm just going to find it. There you go, you can kind of scale the bendies. So obviously that's dodgy, I did it in half a second, right? But if I really wanted to commit to it, the way I would do it is I would get out my Epic Pen again. So I really recommend using Epic Pen. It's a super handy tool, just for this. Just for drawing over your own work while you're animating. You don't have to export it to Sync Sketch or anything like that. I don't know how flexible the grease pencil is. I've never really got around to it. I always just found this a bit simpler to use and quicker. But if you wanted to force perspective here, you just draw the pose that you want, or whatever it is like that, and then you just match the pose to it. So it's really good for being able to draw over your work and just see the pose before doing it. Let's give what we've done a watch. I'll just undo everything that I did that wasn't what I wanted. Okay. I think that was the last thing we did. So let's just zoom out. And again, like all animation, everything is just trial. So if everything I just did could have ruined it, you just got to see how it plays. Turn the trail off. Yeah. So I want to lose the thumbs, that's for sure. just follow with the fingers slightly more this, and then we will be fine. So you can see this is 10 frames just to get this little arm movement right, and we've got the whole shot to polish, right? So there's going to be heaps of nice techniques and things that we do here, so it's going to take us a while, but at the end, like, we still got to do this whole hand here, really. Look at that. Hand's doing the exact same thing. It's just stuck in a stiff pose. And this shot, like, you know, if we go back here to here, you see it's just the tiniest part of the shot, but we still got to make it nice. Obviously, if there's a time constraint, these are the things you could probably not make nice, but there is no time constraint on this, and we've got to get it good, so we should get it good. You can see all through here, the way she's letting go of the webs. Everything needs to be polished nicely, so let's just finish this off here, and continue polishing the shot in the rest of this section of the course. I always kind of go, pardon me, I kind of go rough as well. You see how I'm just being like super rough with the fingers here now, before I go through and try to clean it up a huge amount. Let's zero that out, start again. Slight curl, nothing too dramatic. And then this has to keep that. That should be sweet. This is not sweet actually. It's this twist here. It's like a full rotation. I think we need to let that kind of be half done. So I'm just going to rotate everything and put it, select everything and put it back to that. So we can do it a bit more naturally. To clean this up, please. There you go, you see it's rotating now rather than just flipping. It should be control in the hand here. I wouldn't have thought I did it individually, that's for sure. Let's see here. going to see what it looks like if we steal some of the pose from the next. Huh. Interesting. Because this looks kind of cool, but it looks like it's the same pose. So, the easiest way to do this, just bring out this tool again and just fully trace this here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right? But if we've got this, when we go to the next frame, we know where our fingers have to be. Ah, oh, dang it. Accidentally deleted it. Right, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I use this so much on Under the Boardwalk, which is a crab show we animated on. I might put a little snippet over here so you can check it out. Because there was so much movement, I did so much mechanical stuff, and it was just impossible for me to, do it without this, the help of Epic Pen and having a pen display in order to animate. So I do recommend getting one, because you can't really do it with a mouse. So you can see it's pretty good. This is fine, you just have to individually match the fingers a bit. So this is cool. Might even bring the hand down a bit, like this. Like that, and then that is that control. I want the palm, I want to rotate the palm. It doesn't look like I can, so let's see if I can just rotate this. Yeah, that should be sweet. So even you can see here the head here is popping. Oops. Oops. Pop. So this is the sort of thing I would want to animate like this. So it's less of a pop. See that? See how it's smoother now? And then here, there has to be a pop at some point because it's a big drastic movement. And you can see how that kind of goes out there, but at least for this part here, it's going in a nice, nice path. So the other thing is to clean up the hands. I left the hands so rough throughout this whole animation, so now I'm kind of paying the price. But I don't like to spend like too much time on something while I'm still blocking or building, because it's a high chance I'll change it. So yeah, we'll just go through this shot, clean up absolutely everything, get this all going cool. Yeah, it looks done, but there's still so much work to do. So I'll call that this for this video, and I'll see you in the next video as we continue to polish this shot.